All praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on a new look, right? And the true look on genealogy and on like what decides whether you are whatever nation you are, man. And give me 1 second. Because the belief in this society right now is that you need two of the same parents to bring back a nation, right? Or you're more a so-called black man, for example, if your mom's one, or you're more a so-called black man if your father's one, right? But the only true way is, and the only true thing is, for starters, a black man does not exist. There's no such thing as a black man, right? This is a lie that you've been told, and if you choose to believe it still, you're lost. And any of you arrogant people out there that you don't believe that you're an Israelite, but you think you're smart, no, you're actually dumb. If you still believe the whole white and black thing and don't just use that as a talking point to make people actually understand who you're talking about in this world, but really then refer to Israelite or Edomite or Ishmaelite or Elam, right? Then you're actually still not intelligent. You still don't really know what's going on. You're still under the trickery of this world. You're still under the deception of this world if you still play the game that they told you, that someone's black, yellow, brown, right, white. If you believe those fake color schemes that these people tell you, rather than that you are what your father is, then you're still lost. Now, I want to say this in a lesson, and this is what this lesson's about, man. That an Israelite, and I might call it that, an Israelite man is a vessel to bring back Israelites, right? An Israelite man is a vessel that can be used to bring back other Israelites, man, right? Because this world tries to make it like women are hold the importance in this world, and try and make it like, oh, the so-called black man needs a so-called black woman to bring back a black child. Why it's mixed? No, we bring back an Israelite no matter who we sleep with. We can sleep with the most pasty Edomite woman that you ever see in your life. She could be pale as snow. The child's going to be an Israelite. And Yahweh in the heavenly realm is going to ultimately decide what that child looks like. The child ain't necessarily going to become lighter skin tone because the mother's lighter skin tone. The child could end up looking exactly the same skin tone as the father, should Yahweh choose to make it be that way. But the seed belongs to an Israelite man. Therefore, the child that's going to be born is going to be an Israelite only, right? An Israelite woman, if she wants to guarantee that her child's an Israelite, she has to have a child with an Israelite man. An Israelite man is the only person on earth that can always have an Israelite child. Everybody else can't have it. All the men of the other nations can't have an Israelite child. And here's one of the things that should humble the arrogance of the Israelite woman, right? A heathen woman can have an Israelite child. So you Israelite women are not special because you gave birth to so-called black men, because guess what? A heathen woman can give birth to the same thing, the same creature, the same being that you call a so-called black man. What you call a so-called black man is really actually an Israelite. And a heathen woman can give birth to that as well. She can give birth to an Israelite man, right? That child that's born in her, if she has a child with an Israelite man, is the same as a child that's going to be born in you. So if an Israelite man, for example, right, has two children, one with a Moabite and one with a so-called black woman, an Israelite woman, right? Both women will end up giving birth to the child of the same nation and same tribe and the same lineage, because they have had children with the same man, because they went to a vessel that can bring forth Israelite man. Right? Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. That's what decides the lineage, not the mother. The father decides, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, by the number of their polls. The Israelite man decides the nation. And in fact, I'm going to go further. because every single Israelite man on this earth right now is a part of his own individual nation within the nation of Israel. So the nation of Israel, what's the nation? Israelites, right? So the overall nation that we all are is the nation of Israelites, right? But then within that nation, there's another 12 nations within that, right? Judah to Benjamin to Levi, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, all of those, Issachar, Zebulun, Reuben, Naphtali. That's all the different other nations within that nation. But then there's even more after they had children, and then even more within that, and then even more, and even more. Because every single Israelite man in himself is a nation within a nation. And that's what he's talking about when it said amongst, when it was said to Abraham, and through you shall all the nations be blessed, because every single Israelite man himself is a nation. And the Israelite man is a nation, whether large or small, that can bring forth Israelites. He's a vessel that can bring forth Israelites, man. And that's why Pharaoh wanted to get rid of the Israelite man when he was trying to reduce our numbers. He didn't try and get rid of the women. He didn't care if the women existed or not. They weren't no threat because they wasn't bringing forth what he was scared of. They wasn't not necessary to bring forth what he was horrified of. Because if the Egyptian men would have had children with them Israelite women, they would have brought forth Egyptian children, right? But when the Israelite men had children with either an Israelite woman or an Egyptian woman, them children were always Israelites. That's always how it is. So for all you hating ass so-called black women out there, that you're anger and you're sour because another Israelite woman hasn't received a plague of the hair, and you want to say, oh, that's because she mixed. She mixed. There ain't no such thing as mixed. The only thing's mixed is nuts. Yeah? You got some almonds in there, some walnuts, some cashews, some Brazil nuts, mixed nuts. There ain't no mixed humans, bro. And even the nuts ain't mixed. That's just a packet with different nuts in there. There ain't no such thing as mixed human beings, man. There's different colors and different appearances of the same nation or the same tribe. And you people are so bugged out that you argue till you blue in the face that, oh, mixed, oh, this person ain't even black, this person ain't even black. Look at how color they are. But then at the same time, you're trying to say that we're teaching that salvation's only for black people, but then you'll see people that don't match what you claim is that. And then you'll say that they don't belong in it. But then you're saying that salvation's for everybody. But you're more focused on color than we are. We're actually the main people that are not focused on color as much as you. Because if somebody believes the same doctrine as we believe, we don't care what they look like. Because we're not the ones with the chariots, man. But let's carry on. Genesis chapter 35 and verse 10. And God said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called Jacob anymore, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. Every single Israelite man is a nation himself. And that's why let me see if I can find it. It's in the book of Isaiah. I want to say Isaiah 60, where it says a small one shall become a strong nation. A little one shall become a strong nation. Isaiah chapter 16, verse 22, a little one shall become a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one, a strong nation. One man is going to become a strong nation. How? He's going to have children from multitudes of women. And every single child that's going to be born from that man's seed that was being produced through a woman giving birth is going to become part of his nation, which is the nation of Israel, because he's an Israelite himself and he's part of a nation. He's an extension of the tribe of the nation of Israel, right? They're going to be part of his tribe, right? And then they're going to be part of his father's lineage, but they're also going to become a part of his lineage. And then when he gives birth, when he has a child, when that son gives birth, they now become part of their father's lineage as well as their own lineage, man. And then every single one, like, it's too hot. This is why the scriptures say don't go into genealogies, because if a man has one son, right, But his son then goes on to have 5 other sons. That man that had the original first son has now added 6 members to his own individual nation. So he could have only technically only ever had one son, right? But every single time that man's grandchildren have children, guess what? That's a part of his own individual nation, as well as it being part of that the father's nation, which would be the original father's son, right? And then it becomes a part of his own the grandchild, the grandchildren become part of the grandchild's lineage and nation. And every single time now that the grandchildren have a child, especially meaning the sons have one, that becomes a addition to the grandfather's lineage and nation. And that's why Abraham has got the name that he has, a father of a multitude, because we're all ultimately connected through Abraham. Abraham had 8 sons, right? And how many sons did Israel have? Like Isaac only had 2. That's a small number. But then Jacob went on to have 12. But then the 12 tribes went on to have more. And then they went on to have more. And then they went on to have more until we got here now, scattered in all of these different places on the earth. And this is the true way to understand lineage. But some people are going to get sour about it and be like, oh man, these guys, they're trying to downplay the women. The women need to be downplayed, because this world is running up their battery crease as if there's like the revenue of milk and honey coming from there, man. As if the new covenant's up there. Everyone's kissing Eve's ass like she's got the new covenant between her legs. No, she don't, man. She don't have the blessings or the curses up there. So like, yeah, something happened off camera and it kind of threw me off from the spirit of what I was in the video. But overall, man, the overall point of this video was this: the Israelite man is the only vessel on earth that always can have an Israelite child, right? Simple as that. Without Israelite men existing on this earth, Yahweh would have to perform miracles to bring back Israelites, right? If there was only Israelite men on this earth and no Israelite women, the nation of Israel is still very much alive. Now, if there's only Israelite women on this earth and no Israelite men, the nation of Israel still exists at that moment while the women are alive, but there's never going to be no more additions to the number, and eventually they will fade out, right? Because any child, if they have a child with any other nation of men now, the seed is going to come from a heathen, not an Israelite, and therefore the nation will not exist anymore. Whereas when it's the Israelite men only, the nation of Israel still exists. Now, if you want to argue on that, there was a time in history of this earth, right, if you believe the Bible, which I do, that the tribe of Benjamin had 0 women as the population. There was no women that existed that could call himself a Benjamite, right? But does the tribe of Benjamin exist now? Yes, it does, because they came back through the men, right? Whereas if in that time it would have been there was no men of the tribe of Benjamin and only women, well, the tribe of Benjamin would have ceased to exist unless Yahweh decided to perform a miracle to bring them back, right? So this is a video to rewire the mentality that people have regarding nationality, lineage, the importance of women in childbirth. Now, women are obviously important, because a woman giving birth to a child and you're just smoking cigarettes, downing 40 ounces, drinking shots of vodka, obviously that's not going to be beneficial for the child, is it? But their importance is not like the way how this world goes and with women in terms of parenting is as if the woman's able to just decide what the child's career is going to be while it's in her womb. Oh, I want him to have curly hair, so he's going to have curly hair. I want him to have light green eyes, so he's going to, oh, I want him to have hazel eyes. Oh, I want him to be a NFL player, so I'm going to just, and then she starts humming, and then it comes out like she wanted to, or she rubs her belly in the right place, and now it starts to come out how she wants. No, the women don't decide anything in terms of the birthing process, how the child is going to come out. She does not have a clue. She can't decide anything. She can't make no decisions on how that child is going to come out, man. It's not within her control. You understand? She doesn't have any power over that. And that's what this lesson was about, man. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.